Namaskar. We left off with talking about the sprained wrist in grades 1 through 3, obviously 3 being the most serious out of those, and the grade 3 sprained wrist is most likely going to involve some surgery. Maybe not always, but it would seem pretty bad because you have a complete ligament tear. Now, I mentioned seeing a physician promptly, and that's for the student. The student should know that he or she should visit a physician right away. And also for us who are out there teaching, if you have a student in your class and they have a wrist problem, and you see big swelling on the wrist or something like that, or they're complaining, you should advise your student to do whatever they can to get some attention immediately. The reason why I mention this is because most people, they just talk about sprains are really nothing. They're not a problem. Let's talk about the long-term consequences for an untreated ligament injury. Most people don't know this. Arthritis. 2, chronic pain or instability of the wrist in the first place. So if you're trying to tough it out doing things like crow pose to prove something, even though your wrist is swelled up and you could take it, you're really tough. The problem is you're actually holding yourself back by not giving the wrist a rest. Because if you stop and you think about it, you're going to increase the amount of instability in your wrist, and you could have some long-term consequences that are all ego-based, because say I want to accomplish that crow, or maybe I want to hold it for 30 seconds or a minute or 3 minutes. Whatever you want to do, the point is you're not looking at the long-term objective. Now if you're the teacher on the other side, you really have to stop and think about that student is not going to be really practicing yoga for long unless you advise he or she to go to a physician, get it taken care of, and maybe then we'll move into some modifications, which we're going to cover down the road in this series. With that said, I'd like to wish you all farewell. Om Shanti.